and share ideas with our experts who will be guiding us to learn more about LinkedIn, how it will benefit us, and basically to explore the possibilities that LinkedIn can facilitate. Yes, so I share the form in the chat session because we want to better understand what you expect and better have a feel of your level of understanding of what LinkedIn is. And I have seen 6 people fill the form. Kindly let's all fill it. And I believe this would help us in, especially the experts in their submissions. So if you have filled it, kindly put it in the chat session that you have so that I can see how many have filled it. I'm putting the link once again in the chat session. This is very important to us. It's very important to us because we want to evaluate the impact of the session. Okay. I don't mean to waste your time. Okay, Kelvin has. I want to see more people filling it. It wouldn't take more than 2 minutes of your time, please. Okay, so I see a number of you filling the form, and I am really happy to see and meet you all, even though we are meeting online. So, for those who just joined, my name is Akwele Abina Okai, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Vista Edu. And Vista Edu is a platform for tertiary level students and basically young people from all walks of life to have intellectual conversations, to learn from each other and network, and especially get guidance in their career journey. So currently what we are doing at Vista Edu is bringing up a platform called Prodly, and I would really appreciate it if you can join the wait list for our platform Prodly. I've shared it on our website and I've also put it in this chat session. Today is going to be very exciting because we have amazing people to guide us in our LinkedIn journey. So without wasting much time, I want to read out a few of your expectations. Okay, so I'll first talk about your country. So 86.7% of us are from Ghana, 1%, 6.7% from Nigeria, and then 6.7% from USA. That's great. So your expectations, let me just share the tab for you to see my screen as well. So someone is saying, I want to know how to best maximize LinkedIn to advance to the advantage of my career, to my career, to my advantage career-wise. Okay. I'm sorry, I messed up the words. But basically the person wants to use LinkedIn to her advantage or his advantage. Okay, another says, I want to learn, to understand and be able to utilize LinkedIn, to know more about LinkedIn and the benefits of being active there, and then to get some tips. Okay, to learn about LinkedIn optimization. I want to learn how to manage my LinkedIn account. I want to be duly equipped on how to successfully create a LinkedIn account. Awesome. I want to get a much deeper understanding using LinkedIn. I want to advance my skill to gain insights. Great. So 86.7 of you know about LinkedIn and have an account. 13.3% of you do not, which is great because that is why this session is for beginners like you and for us all to learn from each other. Awesome. I'm really, really happy to read out your feedback because it basically means that we are all on track and we are all here to learn from each other. And that is awesome. All right. So let me just go straight into it. We have so much to do today. Today, our session will begin with Emefa Gia. So I'll read out her bio for us to better appreciate who she is and her LinkedIn journey. So MFA Dia is an experienced statistician, data analyst, and data scientist. She enjoys leveraging Excel, Power BI, MySQL, and Python in analyzing data to generate real-time insights to help businesses take strategic decisions that will meet their objectives, increase profits, and optimize performances. She's an optimistic, goal oriented lady and a team player with great time management skills. She has special interest in female empowerment, volunteering, mentoring, and contributing to tech community. MFI is a proud mom, wow, of one, and glad that she is still able to pursue her passion as a mother. Give me a minute, I'm admitting someone. Okay. All right, so MFI is a proud mom of one and glad that she's still able to pursue her passion as a mother. More recently, she decided to pursue data science because of its interdisciplinary nature and how it is able to make actionable insights out of gigabytes of data. She holds a bachelor's degree in statistics with computer science and master's degree in statistics from the University of Ghana, Legon. She also studied statistics at Columbia University, New York, USA, on an exchange program and has received several awards and scholarships on her journey to be a data professional. Now, as part of her long term goals, she wants to own multiple tech based companies, bringing employment to the youth worldwide. That's a really awesome goal. And I'm really honored to introduce you MFR, dear, if you can hear me, kindly respond.
Hi, Aquile, I'm here. Good evening.
Good evening. So glad to meet you and for you to also share your experiences with us. How are you feeling?
Well, I'm pretty excited. I'm hoping I can share all my experiences to help everyone here benefit and also to
Awesome.
optimize their LinkedIn. So I'm really
Awesome.
excited. And I hope at the end of the presentation, you're going to see you're going to see an improvement in their LinkedIn and then they're going to build their LinkedIn presence.
Great, great, great. So over to you, MFR.
Right. So you're going to be controlling it from your end. So this is a short session for beginners, LinkedIn for beginners. The next slide, please. So a little profile about me. As Aquile mentioned earlier, I'm a statistician, a data analyst, and data scientist. I read statistics with computer science from University of Ghana, and in my third year undergrad studies, I had the opportunity to go on an exchange program at Columbia University. And after that, I did an MPhil in statistics, still in University of Ghana. And upon completion, I had a pre-tech training with Ghana Tech Lab, data science and data analytics. And currently, I'm a data science and analytics fellow at Blossom Academy. So that's how my journey has been from a traditional statistician to I'll say I'm currently a data analyst and I'm headed towards a data scientist. Yep, so that's something brief about me.
Okay, MFA, before you go on, I would like to prompt you that we can hear you loud at a point, and we would barely hear you at a point too. So I don't know if you can position yourself well so that we can hear everything you are here to share with us.
Okay,
Okay, yeah,
is
I
that
think this is,
better?
yes, this is better. Thank you.
Okay, you're
Please
welcome.
proceed.
Yes, so that's the profile. That's something about me regarding my journey from being a statistician to a data scientist. So move on to the next slide. Okay, so there's the big question. What is LinkedIn? What is LinkedIn? So LinkedIn is the world's largest professional network on the internet. And you can access it from your desktop, you can access it from your mobile phone, you can access it with a mobile web experience. And so LinkedIn is basically a social network that is used for professional stuff. Unlike we have Facebook, we have Instagram, we have Twitter, we have a whole lot of social media platforms, but LinkedIn is a professional one. It's also a social media platform, just like the Twitter, the TikTok, the Facebook, but this is a professional one. And this is one that is used, I would say, not only for posting your pictures, but getting to know who you are, getting to know what people are doing, and a place of encouragement on your career journey. And so that's something I'll say LinkedIn is. And with the importance, next slide, please. With the importance, I'll say first of all, LinkedIn is kind of like a digital copy of your CV or your resume. And that is because it will have your picture, it will have your educational background, it will have your professional background, it will have a section for your awards, it will have a section for who you are, a summary, it will have a section for your educational background, and a whole lot. So this is kind of like a digital copy of your CV. And if you find yourself anywhere and you connect with anybody, they can quickly go into your LinkedIn, then they have a brief idea about who you are, what you can do, what field you are into, and that makes it great for me. And so I joined LinkedIn, I'll say last year. So I won't say exactly a year, but a little over a year. And it has been an amazing journey so far. And ever since I joined LinkedIn, I've never wanted to spend time on Facebook because this is a social media platform that is even going to encourage you on your journey. So one, it's a digital copy of your CV, and two, is a place, you get to see a lot of jobs posted there, internship opportunities. It's a place that you get to see people from all over the world, not only in Ghana, but in the States, in Australia, wherever they are. You get to know what people are doing. And when I joined LinkedIn, I was kind of amazed because, you feel like you've done a lot of stuff until you get to LinkedIn and you realize people are really doing amazing things. And each day I go to LinkedIn, I learn something new because someone would have had a better way of solving a problem, and maybe you just chanced on that post, you learn about it, and then you add to your knowledge. And so LinkedIn is also a platform where you get to learn relevant skills and advance your career and also succeed in your career. And anytime there's an update in the current trends, you're able to see it, but people will post it. You're able to know, okay, when it comes to technology, this is what is trending. When it comes to political stuff, this is what is trending. When it comes to data analytics, this is what is trending. And so quickly you adjust yourself. You want to upskill to meet the current job market and be relevant in the industry you find yourself in. And so this is one of the importance of LinkedIn. Also is an opportunity to promote your skill set and importantly to sell yourself. And this is very key because if you don't sell yourself, if you don't put yourself out there, people do not get to know who you are. People do not get to know what you can do. And so it's one thing to have a skill, and it is another thing to be able to put your skills out there for people to know what you can do. And then when you put yourself out there, recruiters or people who post job opportunities can even enter your DM and then give you that opportunity because of what they see you do, and then they feel you'll be in the best position to be able to fit in that role. And so LinkedIn is a very good platform to sell your skill sets and also sell yourself. Finally, I'll say it's a place for mentoring because what I do is because I'm a data analyst and I'm heading towards data scientists, I connect with people in similar fields. And so when they post, I look at it, I learn from it, and it's kind of like indirectly mentoring. If I need any help, I quickly go into the message box. Okay, I saw this and this you posted. How did you go about it? And they'll be glad to help you. And so these are some of the few importance I'll say LinkedIn has, and I'll encourage everybody to actually have this. It's interesting to know that currently, when you are applying for a job, in the forms they ask of your LinkedIn profile. And so, assuming you're applying for a job and they ask for a LinkedIn profile or your LinkedIn link, and that is asterisk, that means that is required and you don't have it, it means automatically you've kind of lost that job opportunity. And also, if you have the LinkedIn and it's dormant and it's not active, the recruiters go there and they find nothing, automatically you're not going to be shortlisted for the next stage of the recruitment process. And so I encourage everybody to have a LinkedIn one and also keep it active. Next slide, please. So this is going to be a quick demonstration. I would like to ask those here with us if any of you would like to volunteer and have your LinkedIn name, in the message box or the comment section. Then we quickly go online onto LinkedIn. We look at your profile, and then we quickly use your profile for a demonstration. And so, if there's anyone here who is bold and confident enough to give us his or her LinkedIn details, we can go there and then use that for a quick demonstration. So I see some messages in the. Okay, so I see Patience Etonam. I see. Okay, Emmanuel first. Okay, so who do we go with? We can start off with Emmanuel. We can start off with Emmanuel. So actually, you can go onto LinkedIn. You type Emmanuel, and then we quickly do a demonstration. And afterwards, we come back to the slides, and then we see how you could optimize your LinkedIn profile. Okay, great. So this is Emmanuel Unegbu, and president of Central University Econ Students Association. So first of all, I want to talk about the profile picture. So this is a very good one because most of the things anyone will like to, because personally for me, if you send me a LinkedIn request, the first thing I'll do is to click. It's not just about, having followers. No, it's about building that kind of network or that space that you get to learn from. You don't just want to connect with anybody, but you want to connect with people that have that value, that can add value to your life. And so you just don't just connect. And one of the key things you look at when you're connecting with someone on LinkedIn is the profile picture. And so Emmanuel's profile picture is good. Um, it should have like it should be like a headshot. 60% of your face should be showing, and the background should be clear. He has a green background, which is not bad, but mostly it's preferred you have like a plain background so that you can really stand out. And he has a cover picture too, so that tells he likes to do work with data. So that one is also key. And then when it comes to what he does, he has president of Central University Account Student Association, economic analysts, researchers, as well as software experts. Okay, so this is also cool, but also another way you can also spec it is, for instance, if you are a student, that you might want to write maybe a student at University of Ghana, Legon, or students at KNUST, and that will make it more clearer. But currently, I've seen this kind of trend that people just write the position and then they separate it with that line in between, just like what Emmanuel has done. So that makes it perfect too. But also, you have to limit this to a maximum of four. I see a lot of profiles that the person has like over 5 to 6, 7 things he or she is doing, and you cannot even really tell exactly what the person is, because the person has a bit of photography, has a bit of data analyst, has a bit of political science. Like the person is just all over. So Emmanuel's profile is okay because he has a maximum of four, but other profiles you see that they have like 6, 7, and that is way too much. And so this one too talks about, yes, so this one he has turned on his content. So you can see that instead of connect, it has plus follow. So that's also a great way to have that audience, because when opens and a person follows, the person is able to see everything that you post. But the person might want to go further to connect. If the person wants to like enter your DM, chat you, when the person connects, then the person can enter your DM and chat you. But if the person just follows you, then the person can only see things that you have posted. However, the person cannot text you. And so this is also a very great way to build the audience. And the followers is also cool. 2,000 plus followers, which is like very cool. And if you apply for a job and you enter your LinkedIn and it's just like less than 300, I don't think the recruitment will want to proceed. And so we always encourage that you build your LinkedIn. At, at least it should be 300, 300 plus connections. And let's
MFA,
let's scroll down. Yes.
before you go on, okay, Pella, I'll get to you, but I just want to share that one of us does not have a LinkedIn account, and you mentioned the creator, he had turned on his creator. So can you run us through how he was able to do that so that they
Okay,
are
let's
can
sure. Let's scroll down.
okay.
I think it has a creator mode. Let's keep scrolling down. Okay, because this is not your profile, you can't do that. If it's your personal profile, it gives you an option to turn on your creator mode. But because you have opened his profile from your end, you won't have that option. However, if it's your personal LinkedIn, it has an option down there that says turn on your creator mode. And so when you turn it on, it gives you that automatically plus follow instead of plus connect. And so when you follow the person, you now go onto the right side and then you connect with the person. So what people don't know is that um the following, they just follow the person and they don't know that there's even a chance to even connect after following. If you just click follow, you just see the person's feed, you can't enter the person's DM. But after following, if you really really want to connect with the person, you have to go ahead and then connect with a person. And so go to more, click on more. Let me see. I think that should have um that option to connect. You see, there's a plus connect down there. And so sometimes if you don't want to even follow, the moment you connect with the person, you're automatically following the person. And so if you're not really interested in just following, but you want to have that personal relationship to be able to text the person, enter the person's DM, then you connect directly with the person. That will automatically follow um, the person. And so that's also one thing most people are not really aware of. And so you turn on the creator mode and then it gives you that option. Okay. Yeah, Akwele, we waiting for you.
Okay, Pella just said something in the chat.
Okay.
You said you spoke about not less than 300 followers, yet not just anyone. What if those you
Mm-hmm.
are picky about are very few? Okay, so we'll handle the questions after the session. I want us to
Okay.
manage the time, but
Okay.
I think you can keep this in mind. And can you go with another person's platform? Probably someone else may not have the connect button on, so that we can also look through it.
Okay. Yeah. So in this message, there was a lady, Patience Etot Lam Lady. Let's briefly look at hers. Okay. Okay. She also has the following. Okay. She also has her following on. So we can't use that as a demonstration, but we can use her. So you see her, she has 57 followers, 51 connections. So let's go down. Maybe I'll see certain things that you're supposed to work on. So the experiences, that's fine. Sometimes you can even add pictures to let people know like really you were there. And you can scroll down, education wise, yes. And then scroll down to the skills section. Okay, so you see she has 8 skills, but I see that none of them has been endorsed. None of them has been endorsed. So most times recruiters look at this because they want to see a number of people endorsing you, especially those who have high expertise in that skills endorsing you, and that kind of like confirms that skills, because anyone can just go to LinkedIn and put the skills there, but as to whether he or she actually has that skill, we can't tell. And so when we have a lot of people endorsing you, then it makes the skill like authentic. So that's one thing we also have to look at is endorsing. And that one, funny enough, people will not really do that. And so you have to intentionally ask people to endorse you. Same with recommenders. Scroll down and let's see. Okay, so that's it. There's supposed to be a section for recommenders, just like you have a resume and you have a recommender. The same way, there's a section for recommender. And so it's also important that you intentionally ask people to recommend you, especially where you are working or if you're a student, the school, maybe your professor, your supervisor you worked with, just go to your professor. Okay, I'm building my LinkedIn presence and I'll be happy if you can recommend me. And also, when you do that, you can add a draft, just to make it easier for whoever it is to um, easily recommend you. And when they do that, if they see that what you have written is not too okay, they can fine tune it to look professional and then recommend you. And so, one of the key things recruiters also look at, or anyone looks at, is recommendation. Also, volunteering. I don't see that she has any volunteering skills. So recruiters also looks at volunteering. So there's quite a lot of things that you need to do. I don't see anything certifications. I don't see anything awards. I don't see anything. So basically, this profile needs a lot of work. Let's see her summary, what she does. Scroll down a bit. Okay, so I don't see anything summary. Yeah, I don't see anything in summary. So the summary section is a point that you kind of like sell yourself. So okay, I am Patience Tonam. This is what I do. This is my interest. I've had these awards. I went to this school and all that. Kind of like selling yourself. It's a special place for you to put a summary of who you are. And so when we look at your profile, the next thing we look at is what you did. Okay, so she is a geography and resource development combined with, so that's perfect. We have an idea what she does. But now I want to go down and see a summary of who she really is, her interests and all that, her educational background. People will look at all this before they actually go down to even read your experiences. And so if in your summary it's not really interesting, they just go back. They don't even scroll down to see. But if they read your summary and then they see that, whoa, this is something really interesting, they now want to like scroll down to see your experiences, to see your educational background, to see if you have some certifications, to see if you've been recommended, to see if your skills have been endorsed. And so looking at all these things, then you have recruiters, sending you a DM. Recently, I had a recruiter sending me a DM, and because of how the scammers, you have to be really careful on LinkedIn because LinkedIn, though it's a professional platform, we have people taking advantage, especially the scammers, especially for people who have just joined. They want to take advantage, and so if you're not careful, you'll be scammed. And so when the person texted me, I did a background research. I did all search where the person works and all that, and it looked uh, clean. So I actually, and because of that, I have a special email I used to do those kind of things. He asked for my email, I sent the email, and the long and short is that I finally found out like it was a legit company that texted me. And this is some of the things you do when you put yourself out there, you post content, they know who you are, and if there's any job opportunity, they'll be glad to reach out to you because they feel you're going to be an addition and you're going to help the team. So quickly, let's go back to the slides. Or you want us to go through Gloria's on too?
I think we can take one last one.
Okay. So Gloria is a co-founder. So co-founder of what? We don't know what co-founding you're doing, and so you can just put co-founder of so and so. Then we know, okay, this is what you do. Your profile is like on point. The background is plain. You have 60% of your face showing. That is cool. But however, sometimes you want to put uh, like a really, because the profile is something that really catches your attention, and so you want to look like official. This is like a t-shirt. I don't know if this is how you want to present yourself to recruiters, but you should wear something really nice. And she doesn't have any cover background, like it's just plain. You should have a cover background. And so if you're a co-founder, if it's a company, you can just put the company logo, something just to spice up the profile. So your profile looks very interesting and people will want to always view your profile and get to know who you are. So let's scroll down. Okay, so you can even see over here that Gloria hasn't posted lately. So she's not even really active. Recruiters look at all these. They want to see how active you are. They want to see if really you are, because someone can just create a fake account and just put this information there. So one of the things they can use to tell if you are really legit is if you are really active on the LinkedIn. So you need to also be active. If you can do posting once a week or posting once in 2 weeks, it's fine for a start. With time, you build up that capacity to post very often and engage with your connections. So she has a co-founder and she has no summary to let us know what she does. Scroll down and let me see. Okay, so that's it. She doesn't even have a school like educational background. I don't see anything education. Yeah, I don't see anything education. I don't see anything skills. So if I come to Gloria's page, she's not even showing any skill. Even with the co-founding, I don't see any skill here. And no certifications, no endorsements, no. So If any recruiter comes to this platform, it's boring. She'll just he or she'll just close this, so they move on to another person. So yeah, we can go back to the slides and then we'll touch on a few things. And I believe by the end of this session, we should all spec and optimize our LinkedIn. So one of the things I talked here to better LinkedIn profile is the profile picture, which I've talked recently. So the picture shouldn't be a selfie. Yeah, the picture shouldn't be like blur. It should be very clear. It should be a very recent picture. Um, it shouldn't be a picture that is like you're sitting down in a couch or in a chair far and we can hardly see your face. It should be a very close shot, about 60% of your face showing, and you have a plain background. So with these pictures I have here, they have like plain background and it looks official. You see they are all in suits, that's like an official wear. And also you should be able to cover yourself well. If you're a lady, you don't want to see your cleavage showing and all that. It should like be well covered and look professional. And I talked about adding a background photo about what you do. And so if you're into agric, put something agric in the background. If it is data analytics, put something data analytics in the background. If it's cybersecurity, put something cybersecurity in the background. It makes it look professional. And then the headlines, what I also talked earlier. So maybe you're a statistician or you're a student at University of Ghana or you're a co-founder at Vista Edu, just put it there. Or if you want to just put the positions and then separate them with the line, that is also fine. Or separate them with an asterisk, that's also fine. And also you turn your summary into a story. So the summary is what I said earlier, that should have a summary of who you are, your interests, where you are now, where you are going, something interesting about you, fun aspect of you that will cause anyone reading to actually still scroll down and see what you have to offer. And we have the turn on creator mode, which I talked about, from the turning from the plus connect to the plus follow, and also list of relevant skills. And so some people have like a lot of skills, and if you even ask someone to endorse, the person would not even know which one to endorse. So just focus on the necessary ones. If you are a data analyst, focus on skills that are relating to data analysts only, so people can endorse those skills for you. If you are a data analyst or you are a co-founder and you're having skills like um, what skills can I use? Skills that is outside what you do, that is not correlating with what and who you say you are. So put a list of relevant skills, and when you ask people to recommend, they will know exactly what to recommend. Next slide, please. So we'll continue. We talk about the endorsement lab, which I've already discussed with the um, demonstration. And so we intentionally ask people to endorse. Oh, can you kindly endorse these skills for me? I'm building my LinkedIn audience. They look at this. So you can have skills showing in your profile and no one has endorsed it. So if no one has endorsed it, then it means people do not know you for that skill. You are saying you have this skill, but no one is actually confirming it. And so endorsement shows that like truly, truly you have that skill and they can trust that. And also I talked about the requesting for recommendation. And also this is the other part that we didn't talk about in the demonstration. You have to showcase passion for learning. Yes, you should showcase. So if you have certifications, put the certifications there. People are able to track you, where you started from, where you are heading. They're able to know that, okay, this lady in a year to come, she's going to get to this point, because if I monitor her with a span of 3 months, this is how she started and this is where she is now. And I bet if I give her 1 year, this is where she's going to get to. So show that passion for learning, and also share content and share value. Share content and share value. Don't focus too much on the following. If you are able to share content, things that are very beneficial to people in your circle, in your network, in your connections, and they engage with your posts, automatically you get the following. So focus on the content, things that you think your network needs, and when you post, they engage more with. Also share your experiences to encourage others. People's experiences of LinkedIn has actually encouraged me, because when I look at the rejections people have gone through, I see that I'm nowhere close. And that's like an encouragement to me that like I'll soon get to where I am going. So share your experiences, whether good or bad, just put it out there. It will encourage someone. It will you also see people's own, and it encourages you. So it's a very good place to actually, you know, share your experiences, and people are able to engage. And also, um when you go for programs, post it, let them know like you go for programs. These are the tech programs you're going, the ones that are related to your field. Go for them, network. Most of the connections I have on my LinkedIn is because of the programs I go to. You go to programs, you connect, then in that program alone you can have like plus 30 people connecting with. And with that one, it's real, because like you've seen them, and they can easily connect with you than someone you've not seen before and you want the person to connect with. Also, you have to show a project you have worked on. So if you say you are a CEO, want to see more of the CEO things you do. If you're a founder, you want to see more of the founder things you do. So just post things to actually confirm who you say you are. Also engage with other people's posts. And this one I'm really careful about, because yes, I'll talk about that one in the final points, but engage with other people, like, comment, repost. If it's relevant to your field, repost, and then follow relevant influencers. I'm using my field because that's where I'm comfortable with. I follow people who are like professional data analysts, professional data scientists. I'm also growing my skills. So I follow people like that. If I see any comments, anything on your feed, be intentional. Because of the AI in the system, the AI, if you follow anything data stuff, you follow anything data science stuff, the algorithm automatically recognize you as someone who is a data fan. And so if you see anything social media, you like it. You see something, uh, how do you call it, security, you like it. You see anything, how do you call it, social rights, you like it. You see anything, how do you call it, fashion, or um, what kind of examples can I use? You see anything, let's say makeup, you like it. That is not your field. So if you like anything, it'll be very hard for the algorithm to pick exactly who you are. So sometimes you can read it and then just scroll. Don't like it. Be very intentional. So I like only things that is data field, tech stuff, women programs as the things I like. I repost things on data. I repost things on women empowerment. I repost things on tech communities. And so when you do this, automatically the algorithm picks that this is who you are. And when they search you on the button, you'll be among one of the first five to show up, because this is what the algorithm has known you for. And so when they search MFA, MFA should be one of the first five people to pop up in the on the LinkedIn. And so the way forward, let's keep connecting, but connect with people. Don't just connect with anyone into your space. Connect with people who, like, professional people who are going to add value to your life, who people you are going to learn from, or people who want to learn from you. And so when you connect and I see that, okay, you're a data person, yeah, I'll connect because I might help you in a way or two. Also, request for recommendations. If you don't have any recommendations, at least one or two, three, any, you can just have like at least two. Then request for endorsements on specific skills, post content, and don't focus on the following I said earlier. And if anything else you need to work on your profile, I've said so many things, just get it done. And so if you have any questions, you can ask me. And yeah, if there's any questions, the room is open for questions. And then Aquile, my last slide, so I get to connect. I like to connect a lot.
Yeah, I've shared your link on the chat
Okay.
session for
Right.
people to connect with you. So
Okay. So
please,
the same name on my Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, can quickly connect. And I have GitHub and all that, but it's not here. But it's the same name. If you just search the name, it will come. So thank you so much for your time. If there's any questions, I'll be glad to help.
Awesome. Let's give her a round of applause using the reaction. Awesome. Give her an emoji. Yeah, there are so many people in the queue to ask questions. So we've allowed
Okay.
some few minutes for the questions. So let me start with reading what is in the chat session, and then those who have raised your hands, I'll attend to you. All right. What if you have interest in multiple fields? MFA, tell us. What if you have
Okay.
interest in multiple?
Multiple fields, but
Yeah.
yes, so multiple fields. Like for me, I like data stuff. I like attending tech programs, but aside, I also have other things. But you shouldn't showcase, like you can showcase it, but like at at most three should stand out of the lot. At most three should stand out of the lot, so that anyone who wants to connect with you looking at your profile can, okay, these are the three things you stand for. When you put a lot of things in your profile, I don't even know which one to go in for. Because you look at people's profile and they have like 6 to 7, and like you need to really specialize. Yes, you really have to specialize on 2 or 3. And so, in my perspective, I would say yes. You all have things you like. I like social media. I like pictures, but I can't go and put photography there because I like pictures. Yes, so just choose like 3, like strong 3, and then you build on that. That's what I can say. Does that answer your question?
Philomena, I hope you are good. Okay. Enyimpa Walker, I hope I'm mentioning your name well. Okay, Philomena is cool. So Enyimpa, can you please unmute and can you ask your question? Hello. Okay. All right. It was a mistake. That is fine. I have really learned a lot from MFR. Thank you so much, MFR, for agreeing to share your learnings from us. With us about LinkedIn. I have personally learned a lot that I'm going to implement because, yes, I do have a multiple interest, and some of the people who I connect with and follow also share things that are of interest to me. And but however, I'm learning that the algorithm selects things you like and streamlines people who also have the same interest to you so that you could connect and then pop up in their feed. So thank you so
Exactly.
much for sharing your
You're
insights
welcome,
with us.
Ophelia.
Yes. So our next speaker is ready. And yes, Emmanuel, hold up with your question. We have our next speaker. Hopefully, he can even answer your question. So, our next speaker is Joel Bill Ajiman Mensah. So, I'll quickly read his profile and then I'll invite him to share his learning with us as well. So, Joel Bill Ajiman Mensah is a software entrepreneur and agricultural engineering graduate with skills in front end engineering, marketing, and sales. He is currently in the MEST Africa training program where he is honing his entrepreneurial skills and learning from industry experts. Joel is also an avid sports enthusiast, particularly in football and badminton. As so it's I think you lost me a bit. I hope I'm back now.
Yeah,
Did you
you are.
catch everything I said about Joel? Okay.
Yeah,
Let,
but you can take
let
it
me
again.
Yeah, let me take it again. Sorry about the glitch. So Joel Bill Algerman Mensah is a software entrepreneur and agricultural engineering graduate with skills in front-end engineering, marketing, and sales. He is currently in the MEST Africa training program where he is honing his entrepreneurial skills and learning from industry experts. Joel is also an avid sports enthusiast, particularly in football and badminton. Without further ado, let's invite Joel. Joel, can you hear me, please? Hello,
Yes, I
Joel.
can hear you loud and clear. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Take us away.
Okay. All right. Can you all see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for the introduction. Um, so I'd just like to thank all of you for spending your evening, your Friday evening with us. Um, yeah. So my name, as Aquili rightly mentioned, is Joel Belajaman Menta. I'm Ghanaian. I have a background in agricultural engineering, and I'm currently transitioning from agricultural engineering into tech entrepreneurship. Um, my main expertise is in because I have an engineering background. I'm more inclined to be a technical person, but over the years, I've realized that I've had uh, multiple interests, especially in marketing and sales. And I think the whole point about making money just excites me. And I've been able to kind of leverage that and build sort of a skill around that. So if I like to just jump right into it, if that's okay.
Yes, of
Yeah.
course.
Okay. So firstly, I'd like to thank MFR for that wonderful presentation. I was taking notes and I believe everyone has learned something from that.
You're
So I'd like to
welcome,
be
Joel Bill.
okay. I'd like to talk on possibilities facilitated by LinkedIn. I just decided to give my presentation a fancy name, so that's why it's there. Okay. Who's Joel Bill? You guys will ask. Software entrepreneur, front-end web development, marketing, sales, mostly at West Africa. So West Africa, for those who don't know, is a one-year training program where you're being taught technology skills, business skills, and also communication skills. So I've been here for about 8 to 9 months now, and it's going to end in August. But I've really learned a lot from the program. And in within the span of 8 months, I've been able to start two startups. Uh, First was in Linsight. Linsight was basically a B2B social listening platform to help businesses understand what's what metrics to to use. Basically that. Okay, my personal LinkedIn story. Um, so I joined LinkedIn somewhere in 2019, just a normal university kid who was trying to figure out what this platform was about. I didn't know anything about it, and I decided to try it out. I saw some of my mates using it, um, but because I didn't know the importance of LinkedIn, it was pretty much dormant. Um, I have to quickly chip. If you have any questions during my presentation, can you just leave it in the comment section? I'll answer you later. So yeah, it was pretty dormant for a long time. I never really used it, never saw the um, kind of benefits from it because coming from the agric engineering background, if someone needs you to go and fix an irrigation system for them or design something for them, it's basically the person is going to basically call you or text you or something or get a referral from somebody. Hey, do you know someone who knows how to do this? And you get a referral from someone. But how scalable is that, you would ask? It's not scalable. That's why platforms like LinkedIn exist. So I like to go to April of 2020. That's when I started my, I like to say I started my transition. So I started getting more interested in pushing or marketing myself. So I updated my LinkedIn profile, uh, tried to revitalize it a little bit, put my experiences there, my certifications there, and all that stuff. Um, and in September that year, when I got admission to West Africa, we're advised, to keep posting about what we are doing, even if it's your failures, whatever, just post it there, but be selective about what exactly you post. So I started posting content, you know, about some are tech related, some are marketing related, some are sales related. Just basically some of the learnings that I've gotten over the past few years and months. So yeah, for future plans. So currently I'm working on my business idea with my teammates. We're currently looking in the transportation industry and also the fintech industry. And I intend to leverage LinkedIn more because I found out that more people who have industry experience are on LinkedIn. Um, Most of them are out of the country, and it's pretty much not scalable to book a flight to go and see them. It's better if you meet them here on LinkedIn. So I like to share some of the success stories that I personally know from LinkedIn. So I happen to know the co-founder of ADP List. Um, those who don't know ADP List, it stands for Amazing Design People List. It's basically um, it's basically a platform where you can find, book, and meet mentors from all over the world. And James Badil was one of the teaching fellows from I think from last September, yeah, last September, and he was telling us about how during in the heat of the pandemic, he messaged Felix Lee, who is from Singapore, on LinkedIn, and he found out that they have quite similar interest in uh, trying to help people design people find get mentorship because it wasn't there for them. So based on that common interest, they decided to come up with ADP List in 2021. So if you don't know about ADP List, you can check out their platform. It's really cool. And also, we met. Okay, so I'll just talk briefly about Kuseka. So Kuseka was my second business idea. With my team, we decided to go into software sales, trying to help people, software companies or startups who want to go into new markets to do that by using software resellers. So we needed, the plan was to start up in Nigeria and Kenya. Um, and we needed to talk to people who already know about the markets, big players, stakeholders in the market, and be able to reach out to some of them. One of them was, I think, Moses Nzioki from Kenya, who was able to give us very, very helpful information on how to craft a business model, pricing model, and all those things. So it was really relevant. Without LinkedIn, I'm not sure I'd have gotten the opportunity to meet someone from Kenya. Plane tickets from Accra to Kenya is very expensive, by the way. So yeah, I also have quite a number of friends who I've met through LinkedIn. Um, Being where I am at West Africa, you're being exposed to a lot of people day in and day out. It's a wide community of um, entrepreneurs, tech people, policymakers. You have a lot of people coming in and out of the building, and it's important to maintain a sort of a relationship with them. And the best way I like to manage it is through LinkedIn because it kind of gives it that professional sense, right? If it was on Instagram or Facebook, it won't give it the same effect as a LinkedIn message. So um, I am in constant communication with some of my friends from St. Thomas University in the US and also from London Business School. So yeah, I like to share, as MFA said, to share some of the stuff that I'm working on LinkedIn. Recently, I shared when we were going out to do market research, I decided to make a post on it, and yeah, some people learned something from it. I was really happy about that. So yeah, Also, I think LinkedIn is a place where I feel I'll look back in a couple of years and say, oh, I'll be proud of myself because I've been able to track my progress along the way. And yeah, I also like to talk about some notable mentions. Um, I don't know if you guys know Atta Aleke. So Atta Aleke is the chairman of McKinsey Africa, and he basically used LinkedIn to connect with potential clients. And he often shares his insights on African business and economic development. He does that by publishing articles and engaging with his network. You can check out his LinkedIn account. I think I have it here opened. Yeah. So this is Achalike. He has quite a number of articles here that some of which I've read. And yeah, his last post was 2 days ago on climate hazards. So these are some of the ways to reach your audience. And one thing I like about LinkedIn is that it doesn't give you just one size fits all. It gives you the ability to either use, if you want to use a text form, if you want to use an article form, if you want to use videos, you know, there are different ways. There are different ways you can push your content on LinkedIn. It doesn't have to be text all the time or pictures all the time or videos all the time. And there's also LinkedIn Live that you can have, like the way you have a normal Instagram Live or Facebook Live. There's also LinkedIn Live. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I think I have to mention so Oluwaseun Osobi, she's Nigerian. Um, her startup was a stand to end rate, you know, and she leveraged this platform to get potential donors, to get partners, and I think they are currently hiring for I think executive director or something, and it's all on LinkedIn. So imagine if you're not on LinkedIn and you qualify for that position, how do you know? How do you know that there's vacancy there? So it's important to be on LinkedIn to get some of these information. Um, also like to talk about this man, Mr. Eric Osiakwan, I think it's the name. Yeah, he's also founder of Chanzo Capital. He's basically into African tech investments. He invests in tech companies, and this LinkedIn is primarily his most used social media. He posts a lot over here, and you get to, if for instance your startup, you know, you can get to see what's the trend or the trajectory of the companies that they're investing in, all from his LinkedIn platform. So there's so many opportunities that you can get from just being on LinkedIn. Um, yeah, so bad. Okay, so I think MFR said quite a lot, but I'd like to say my 6 tips for effectively using LinkedIn. So first is to know your why and target audience or community. For instance, if you want to learn UI UX design, um, you'll be following conversations or following people like James Bado or Felix Lee or the AD Pillars community, for instance, where you can get access to other designers who can potentially help you in crafting your work, right? So you should be able to know your why, know your target audience, know, okay, I want to learn data science. Let me follow data science people. If you want to learn data science and you're following marketing people, you might get misleading content because of the way the algorithm works, as MFI explained. So yeah, and there's also quite a number of communities on LinkedIn too that you can follow. So use the second is to optimize your page. I know I keep on referring to MFL, but she did a great job. You can use the tips. I mean, use the tips that be presented to optimize your page. It's important that you get the best out of your page, so that when potential investors, partners, co-founders see your page, they're able to quickly, um, DM you and talk more. Timing is important. For me, I like to kind of meet someone in person before I do send a DM. So if I know I'm going to an event and person A is going to be there, instead of just sending a LinkedIn request to connect or follow, I like to go there, meet the person, ask for, hey, can I connect via LinkedIn? Can we connect via LinkedIn? And most of the times it's, yeah, sure. Then after that, that's when saying hi, you give the person kind of like context as to where they met you. Because I've noticed that some people are quite apprehensive when you just show up from nowhere and just saying hi, you know, my name is da 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 da. Some people are apprehensive, but some people are also fine with it. So it depends on who you're targeting. Um, yeah. So that's what I basically do. So go straight to the point when reaching out. Um, yeah. So some people have that bias of, oh, if they're meeting a new person, they don't want to probably uh, give that person everything. They want to see how you're going to lead the conversation on. So for me, I like to kind of go straight to the point when I'm texting someone that I don't know. For instance, when we are texting Moses, is it okay for Kiseka? We decided to just write my name, what I do, what I wanted, and a call to action. So it's like, hello, my name is Joel Azimamenta from West Africa. I'm working on a project, um, and working on a project in software sales. I know you have expertise in that area. Are you available for a meeting? Can we schedule a call? So as simple as that, I was able to um, get him on a call. We moved from there. Don't spam. Yeah, don't spam basically means don't go to someone's account every time and trying to hello, good morning, hello, good morning, hello, good morning, just because you know the person. Um, and also don't. Sometimes it's good to you send a message, you wait instead of sending uh, a follow up immediately, because not everyone, there are different time zones for some people. Some people also are super busy, so we don't need to spam. If you spam, the chances that they're going to read is actually low. So do not spam. Six, market yourself. Don't be afraid to share your certifications, events that you've attended, the learnings that you've made, because no one knows you till you tell them who you are. So do not be afraid to put yourself out there. It can be, how do I say this? It can be, for lack of a better word, vulnerable at times to just put yourself out there. But hey, they don't know you, so you make them know you. Like that's what I always tell myself. The moment you enter a room, like people don't know you, they don't know you, so you have to now tell them and let them know who you are for them to form a perception about you. So, and yeah, the bonus is to use your social capital wisely. So social capital basically refers to the networks of the network of relationships and acquaintances that you've made, um, that a person has developed over their lifetime, right? Basically, I think you can link this to the don't spam. If you know the CEO of, let's say, Vista Edu, it doesn't mean that anytime or every day you need to, um, or anytime you need something, or sometimes it's not even, you don't need anything, you just want to like, hey, how are you? Hey, how are you? There's some people that they won't they won't really be happy. Let me just see, for lack of a better word, happy. If you're always contacting them for something, right? There has to be kind of a gap, and I think this works differently for different people. Because for me, I found out that the people that you kind of constantly try to talk to because you know them, it kind of gets, you know, there's this phrase that familiarity breeds contempt, right? So if you're always in their DM, oh, I'm doing this, blah blah blah, I'm doing that, blah blah blah, it might get to a point that they might not listen to you. So know how to message in moderation. That's basically what I'm trying to say. Um, yeah. And to yeah, almost done. And to top it up, so this happened I think last week. I was with a friend, and he just got a message from an investor, right, on LinkedIn, who wanted to schedule a call. And this guys were willing to invest up to $1 million in his company, you know. And just on LinkedIn, I was there. He just got the message. It's like, wow. Went had a call with the guy, and um, I won't want to share more about that, but you can see the power of LinkedIn in that because he had been sharing the progress of his company on LinkedIn. He was able to get that call. I was like, if you didn't share it or if you were hiding what you were doing, I don't think you'd have gotten that call with an investor. So keep sharing, keep posting. Yeah, optimize your page, and I wish you all the best. Thank you. And also, I'd like to hear from you. You can reach out to my LinkedIn, my Twitter, and also my Gmail account. So thank you very much.
Thank you too. Let's give it up for Joel Bill as well. Oh, such refreshing and awesome session. I have also learned so much from the opportunities that I can gain from LinkedIn. I've learned that I have to use my social capital wisely. I have to learn how to optimize my page. And I mean, we have so much learned a lot. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you, MFR. Thank you, Joel. And this is the time for us to ask questions. Do you have any questions? Kindly share it with us. I believe our speakers, our experts are still on the call to help us in our LinkedIn journey. Okay, there's a question here. Is there a way you can secure your LinkedIn account? MFR and Joel, who would like to go first?
I think
Okay.
MFA should take this one.
Yeah. Let me try. That's a very critical question. I've not even thought of that, but I'm sure there's a way. Sometimes LinkedIn verifies whoever it is using that profile, but I don't know if there's a way I could check to see if you have been verified. Because for me, if I go to my LinkedIn profile, it's ticked there that like I've been verified. So LinkedIn also have a way they do their verification to see if like you're truly um, the one or not. But as to whether you can secure it aside using a strong password, I don't know if there's anything like that. Maybe I'll have to find out more about that. I'm sorry I'm not able to answer your question, but this is something I'll also like to look at. Thank you.
Okay, I'd
Um,
like to add something to
yeah,
that. Okay, Joel, you go. Take it.
yeah. If it's about the security of the account, I think LinkedIn has a two-factor authentication for you to. I don't know if you guys know, but LinkedIn has a two-factor
Yes, yes.
authentication. So, but I
That's
don't really get the context of it. Yeah.
I think LinkedIn is one of the most secure social media out there. You hardly hear of people being hacked on LinkedIn or people um, experiencing other security issues, as is very common among WhatsApp and Facebook and Instagram. You hardly hear of people being taken off LinkedIn unless probably um, you didn't meet the rules of the community, which is something that is very important. especially if you are managing a community, you definitely want the people to adhere to the rules of the community. So if you do not if you do adhere to the rules of the community and you do your two-factor verification, um, unless the person is high profile person who has really access to really secure information, I hardly hear of people being hacked on LinkedIn or experiencing security issues on LinkedIn. That was what I wanted to add to it. And yeah, so is there any other question? I saw a question earlier. I'm trying to trace it. It was by a gent. Okay. Emmanuel was asking this question: how often should you write content? And if so, what if you run out of ideas on what to write? That's quite interesting. MFR or Joel. Joel, take this one.
Okay, I will take it as one. But of course, like we all fall into that loop where we kind of like creativity is being stifled, where we probably don't think we have anything to share. But even with that, there's always a lot you can share. You can just what I like to do basically is to break down um the kind of things I want to talk about. So for instance, last weekend, this week, we were doing market research. So I was like, oh, okay, it's a good time to post about market research. Next week and the following weeks after that, we're going to product development, and that'll be. I think I'd also like to write about product development. So it's not don't overthink it. The reason why you'd have that uh, lack of content is if you're overthinking it. You can basically write past experiences, if you are trying to learn a new skill, you can also post about your challenges that you're having. You can post about the skills that you've learned or your weekly learnings, for instance. So yeah, I think that answers it.
Okay, so share your weekly learnings. I believe at one point in time in your life you learn something new. Well, MFR, add something to it. Why not?
Okay, so yeah, this is actually most people even don't know what to post. Like that's one of the questions I keep getting. It's like they don't even know what to post. But the thing is, if you continually add value to yourself each day, you will definitely have something to post. And so for me, what helps me, it's different for everybody. We have people who are like content creators naturally, and we have people who are naturally not writers. I never liked writing. I think my worst grade has ever been in English. I don't like reading, I don't like writing. However, when it gets to stage in life, you have to learn to do certain things. And so you have to look at you and then do what's best for you. So you don't want to post every week because someone is posting every week. You can choose to post like once in 2 weeks, which is okay for you. But aside posting once in two, there's a lot of things you can do to engage your network. So you can you can comment on people's posts, you can like it, you can reshare it, repost it to your network, and you can have days that okay, today I want to post about my experience, something that happened, and I feel if I post it, that it's going to help someone or encourage someone. Okay, today I want to post about my certification. I've taken this course. I want to let people know, hey, I've taken this course. Okay, I go for a program. Today I want to post about this program. I attended this program. I want you to know that this is where I went to. This is what I've learned when I went for this program. Okay, today I'm working on a project. So I want to let people know, okay, this is the project I've worked on. You can share your inputs, you can, and also look at the kind of things your career people, I say career people, like those who are in the same field with you, look at what they post. That's what helps me because I look up to a lot of professional data scientists and analysts in my network. So when I see the kind of things they post, it gives me an idea of what to post. And sometimes when I see a very nice caption or something that is really related to my, I do take screenshots. I do that a lot because I know definitely I'll get there. And so when the time comes for me to post about that thing, I quickly go to my screenshots, I get some ideas from them, I put it together and quickly I post. And so just be intentional about it and you should be fine. Just have a target. Maybe I want to post once in 2 weeks. And then maybe from there, when you're getting used to it, then maybe you can see now I want to post once a week. And I want to post once in 3 days. So just set the targets for you, a very comfortable target you can start with, and with time you'll be fine.
Okay, so set a target for yourself. Don't give yourself too much pressure and you'll be fine. Thank you so much, MFA, for that. I'd like to add something to it that so I hear a lot of people say LinkedIn gives them pressure and they don't know what to post and they are finding it difficult to get content. MFI and Joel have both shared really insightful things, but I just want to add that in in engaging on LinkedIn, it's more about showing yourself to people for them to better understand your professional life. How is your professional life going? MFA talked about certifications and learnings and all that. They basically want to interact with your human nature. How do you feel when you probably apply to something and you do not get it? Are you persistent? Do you always want to not give up? Is that the kind of person you are? All these kind of things can be seen on your post. That's your thoughts. And currently, we have a lot of artificial intelligence helpers to help us post. We have Copyanto AI, we have the famous ChatGPT. We have so many tools out there to help you. All you have to do is to give yourself time, give yourself um, targets, set targets that you can kill. For me, I personally post once a week. That's the least I post every week. And if I do not post in 1 week, the next week I do my best to post, let's say twice, just so that my engagement level with the community or the connections that I've built is strong enough. And even if I am not able to be active as yeah, I also overthink posts, and I think Joel tackled that aspect that when you overthink it, you do not have things to post. Sometimes you actually do have something to post, but because you're overthinking it, you just leave it there. Now, I think LinkedIn gives you the opportunity to schedule posts, so you can write content about things you have learned or learnings you have learned, certifications you have gotten, or places you've been to, and all that, depending on your background or your field or what you want to communicate, and schedule it. So at the time that you schedule it, whether you have internet or not, I don't know how LinkedIn does it, but for me, whether I have internet or not, my post is shared, and I do not have to worry about peer pressure or anything. But one thing that I have really taken notice of LinkedIn is that once you post, you do not just leave it and go and just, allow imposter syndrome to drop on you and feel as if you have delivered a giant bomb to the world, and you don't want anybody to know that it was you who posted it. Meanwhile, everybody can see your picture and basically know that it was actually you. I actually feel that way sometimes when I post. But the algorithm is now showing. When we say algorithm, we basically mean, if you're on social media, you basically understand the concept of algorithm, but how your content is able to, is structured to appear in your people's feed, or how LinkedIn is able to promote your content to other people. So the algorithm will see that, okay, so this person just posted about this and is very intentional, such that she has even gone ahead to engage other members of the LinkedIn community, probably like their posts, comments on their feed, or repost something they found interesting or something that is related to their field. And with that, they are able to recommend your post to other people. So in view of learning more about LinkedIn, we want to continue with this session because we understand how important LinkedIn is to the professional lives of students and young people everywhere. So we intend to have another session around LinkedIn for professionals. But then kindly type in the chat session if that is something you are excited to hear about, or you probably want to improve your professional portfolio. But while we do that, I want you to take a moment and share your experiences, your feedback. For every single thing that we do, we want to account for the improvements in the lives of the people that we have spoken to. How did you find this session? So I have put a link in the session, and kindly tap on it and give us your feedback. Now, one thing about LinkedIn is, as you are having an online session like this, you can just screenshot what you see, whether you're using your phone or your laptop. Just screenshot the page, probably crop it, and then post it on LinkedIn that yes, I joined this LinkedIn for Beginners session. When people or professionals or employers see that, okay, so this person is really interested in improving on himself, I mean, personal improvement is a priority for the person, they'll take you seriously. So today I've given you one content. Screenshot this screen, whatever, whether you're using your phone, your laptop, screenshot it, copy it as you may, and share it on LinkedIn and tag the people, our experts. So I've shared their LinkedIn handles here. Can you please help me by sharing it again? Please tag them and let them know that, okay, so I joined this session and I found it insightful. And these experts were the ones who led me. When people see these things, they become excited about it. You see a lot of people giving you feedback that, okay, oh, that's great, you're doing well. And that can even serve as an encouragement as a beginner to continue pursuing your career dreams. There are so many opportunities out there on LinkedIn, as Joel rightly said. And once you better understand the relevance of LinkedIn and how it can improve your career journey, whether you're a doctor, you're a nurse, you're a statistician, you're a software engineer, it can literally change your life. Okay. So that marks the end of our session. I've seen some questions. I haven't ignored your questions, but I'll get back to it very soon. You said, what's the best way of reposting what people post? Okay, what's the best way of reposting what people post? I wanted to use this as an example. Give me a minute. Let me get it back on. Yeah. So MFR, before this session earlier this morning, she posted this on her LinkedIn profile. So what I did was I'll come here and I'll see repost, and then I'll just tap on it. So it gives you the option to repost with your thoughts or just repost. If you don't want to say a lot of things, just click on repost and instantly whatever MFR has posted appears in your feed. So it's as simple as that. That is one way you can engage with the LinkedIn community, and that is one way it can also improve on your personal portfolio on LinkedIn. So as I mentioned earlier, we are planning to have a LinkedIn for Professional session, which will be a practical way to show how someone can strategically position him or herself on LinkedIn for professionals to better understand the value that you bring to the table, even before they meet you on the interview panel. So there are some questions here. Okay, I've answered the best way of reposting. And then I think earlier someone asked about certification. Yes. So please, about certification, do you have to post the picture of the certificate or just post your achievements? Okay, so this is a two-way thing. There are some certificates that you do not need to post the picture of, and I'll tell you why. So if let's say you joined something, a program that, as MFA said, LinkedIn is basically your online CV. And if it's something that is in relation to a particular place that you really want to be at, how you want to be known, what you want to be known for, then I'll recommend that you post about it and also add a picture so that people can know that yes, indeed you went for that particular event or that particular session and you have gained that this particular learning from it. But if it's just something that you just want to let people understand, like a content you want to create. Probably you want to add pictures of yourself or even a video. Then you can just say, okay, so I went for LinkedIn for beginners session on 5th May, and I was happy to have MFA Joel share really insightful things about LinkedIn and how I can improve myself. From today onwards, I want to be a better LinkedIner, if there's something like that. And probably improve on my personal portfolio. You will even be surprised as to the kind of feedback some people may give you. LinkedIn is a place of support, and people have so many things that they gain when they join LinkedIn. So we want to have this session. So kindly fill the after session feedback form that I have shared with you. MFR, you have something to say.
Yeah, a little contribution. So with the certifications, because of the scamming and the cyber security stuff, I'll advise you only share stuffs related to maybe the online courses you've taken. Yes, maybe you went for a training, you can share that one online. But when it comes to the maybe your university certificates, maybe your BSc, your master's, your doctorate, that one, personally, I feel you should be very careful and think twice about it before posting
Or even
because
your birth
people,
certificate.
yes, some really, really uh, detailed stuff that it's not everything you should post there. This online certifications, yes, you can post it, but like me personally, I'm not going to post my undergrad or my master's certificates there because someone can use it for something. But aside those ones, the online certifications, yes, it's just how will I say it is the word is not coming. It has a template, and so when you're done with it, they just push your name inside and it comes. But it's difficult to have the university templates like there for people to actually use. So when it comes to university certificates, bachelor's, master's, doctorates, that one I don't advise you post it. You can add it to your education, but don't post it. But the online ones, yes, you can post it. The trainings, yes, you can post it. Thank you.
Thank you too for sharing. I believe we are okay and you have gotten the answer that you needed. All right. So after today's session, we have topics to discuss with a mentor. So, Vista, do we organize monthly webinars on the last Thursday of every month? So today's own is a very special session we had, and it was because we went to the university students at the University of Ghana and had a session with them and promised them to introduce them to LinkedIn, especially for those who wanted the certificate of our training program because it was a free session. So on the last Thursday of May, which is basically, I'm sorry about the noise. Yes, so on the last Thursday of May, which will be 25th May, we have a session called Topics to Discuss with a Mentor. So it's something that a lot of people keep asking us. So what do I talk about with my mentor? How do I have this conversation with a mentor? So we have a startup innovator or innovation lead. She's by name Na Ajakai Eje. So we'll be sharing her flyers on our social media platforms. So kindly follow us on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter. We are there to respond to your feedback. And yes, please, she's an exceptional person and you would want to interact with her. So these are the kind of sessions you want to be part of so that you can also share your learnings on LinkedIn to give you. So now today I'm giving you free content on LinkedIn. So from today onwards, kindly repent and let's also improve each other and let's hold our hands together. If you need any kind of support, if you need any help, don't hesitate to reach us, and you can find our page on Google. Initially, I shared the link. I'm going to share the link on Google too. And please do not hesitate to rate us on Google. If you join today's session, how did you find the session? You can just put it down on Google and it will tell people that, okay, Vista Edu, they are saying this on Instagram, they are saying this on LinkedIn, they are saying this on their website. That is exactly what they are doing. The people who have been part of the session are saying the same thing. So kindly take a moment to rate our site on Google as well for us. And with that, we have come to the end of today's session. We have come to the end of today's session. And please give us your feedback. We want to improve on this session. So thank you so much. Any last words, MFI and Joel? Any final words before we end the session?
Okay, so yes, we have an assignment to do. Just go into your LinkedIn profile and the things that you feel you need to make changes to, just do so. Thank you.
Okay, Joel.
Yeah, you can feel free to reach out via LinkedIn. Yeah, if there's any questions you want to ask, startup, tech, marketing, anything, just reach out.
Awesome. Thank you all so much for your patience and for joining us today. So, with this, I would say a big thank you once again. My name is Aquilio Kai, CEO and co founder of Vista Edu. And as I mentioned earlier, Vista Edu, what we do is we create this platform for tertiary level students and young people to learn from each other, to have intellectual conversations, and also give them advice. I mean, with the experts that we have on board, in order to help them in their career journey. So currently we are on building a platform for research work and we want you to join our wait list. The platform is called Prodly, and if you visit vistedu.com, you are likely to see the wait list. Kindly put in your email so that we can tell investors that, okay, this is something that is worth investing in. So once again, thank you so much. I want to see more responses after the session because it's going to help us improve. And thank you once again. Have a lovely evening. Bye.